So we'll move on to confirmation of the elicitation results because this is important. You have prepared, you have conducted, now the time is to confirm them. So we'll see how to do that. So the purpose is to check the gathered information and confirm the accuracy and consistency with other information. So as an input, what goes in is elicitation results which are unconfirmed. And the output is the elicitation results are confirmed. So you confirm the elicitation results against the source information that you already have. And then you also verify it with other elicitation results that you have. So let's say you are trying to elicitate across multiple streams. So you would certainly want it to be confirmed against the source information from which you have. So let's say you have taken some notes and those notes were taken in the requirement workshop. And then you detailed out those notes. You actually performed some analysis and you structured them. And then you created a document around that. But there are other streams also wherein you may want to see that whether it is aligning with other streams or not, whether it is complying with other streams or not in terms of feature requirements. So that's where you're doing with other elicitation results, right? Cool. So there are some guidelines and tools. So elicitation activity plan, you already have it when you were preparing for elicitation. You also accounted for how you would confirm the elicitation result, and you have your existing business analysis documents also. So this is the one you're going to use for confirmation of elicitation results. What are the techniques that we use in confirming elicitation results? So maybe you want to pull out a document that is there. I mean, there could be a document which suggests how you can confirm it, how your company is doing that, and then you might interview people in order to see that whatever requirements you have, they agree to that. And then reviews can be conducted. It could be in the form of workshops, which could be a group of people who are reviewing those results. So these are some techniques here.
Okay.
All right. So confirm, I think this is pretty much same that we discussed. So who are the stakeholders? Domain SME and any stakeholder, because they are the primary source of the requirements, right?
Right.
So on the basis of their expertise, experience, and knowledge, you're confirming the requirements that you have elicited. Cool. So now the next important thing is you have confirmed the requirements. It's time to communicate the requirements to various stakeholders. So how do we do that? So the purpose of this activity is that stakeholders have a shared understanding of business analysis information. The word shared is important because this tells you that everyone is on same page. So one way of sending out information is that you're just throwing it out in an email and you're not confirming whether everyone is on same page or not. So what you can do is you actually will use your business analysis information that you have, and you will also use the stakeholder engagement approach that you have thought around initially. And what you will come out with is BA information which is communicated because you are using the engagement approach that you have decided, and you have business analysis information. So it is very important that business analysis information communicated is different from business analysis information. You might get a question wherein communicated is important criteria. So just keep looking out for those things which are in the bracket. Like previously, it was confirmed and unconfirmed requirement elicitation results. Similarly, communicated.
Okay.
So you might get a question wherein a situation is there when they're saying the BA has already gathered the requirements, has documented, and has confirmed the elicitation results. Right. Now, are the requirements uh, ready to be, I mean, designed? Or can BA start engaging the developers or the designers to start development? They may say yes or no. So the answer is no, because it is not communicated to stakeholders yet.
Okay.
Right. So that's what is there. Elements. Determine objectives and format of communication. It could be formal, informal, formal documentation, information documentation, presentation. form of package. Depends on the BA approach. It could be predictive or adaptive. So maybe upfront you are documenting everything and then communicating, or it could be adaptive, which is in the form of agile. And then you communicate business analysis package. So you actually are creating a BA package. It is nothing but it could be your BRD, or it could be your business case, it could be your business need document, or it could be your product backlog. So they're calling it as a package. So there are two guidelines. One is BA approach that you have decided. There will be multiple items in your BA approach which will guide you to perform this communication of BA information, and then information management. So you might have come up with these steps under your information management documentation that you were creating earlier as a part of BA analysis and BA planning and monitoring. So these two tools will guide you how to communicate, because this is already signed off by the stakeholders, right? Now there are some techniques how you can communicate. One way is to interview, another is to get review done. I mean, you can just send it across and then ask them, can you please review this document? Or it could be workshop, bringing group of people into one room. Interview is communicate information, review BA information, workshop, build consensus, and seek approval. So maybe you can do all of these also, right?
Okay.
So who are the stakeholders? I think it includes everyone, because everyone should be aware of the requirements that have been elicited. So we have end user, customer, tester, all stakeholders, implementation SME, and domain SME. So they could have said all stakeholders rather than detailing out these guys separately, other guys separately. But it is important to highlight them because they are important stakeholders in this case. The sign off will come from them, except for the testers. So, all right. So we are at the last topic of elicitation and collaboration. Actually, this is related to collaboration, which is manage stakeholder collaboration. So the purpose of this activity is to encourage stakeholders to work towards a common goal. So what you need here is you need a stakeholder engagement approach, and you need BA performance assessment. So you need to also see that as a BA, you are also assessing your performance against the collaboration that you are the collaboration that you are doing. Okay. And what you come out as, what you get as an output is stakeholder engagement. That's what is required here.
Okay.
There are various elements that one can keep in mind as a BA. You need to gain agreements on commitments, which is time commitment and resource commitment from stakeholder. So now we are talking about any stakeholder here. They are not specifically business stakeholders. So you might require time commitment, resource commitment. There is a monitoring of stakeholder engagement where you monitor the participation and performance of stakeholders also. So you need to make sure that stakeholders are sufficiently motivated and encouraged to come up with their inputs. And you need to monitor for risk related to stakeholder engagements. So there could be a stakeholder who can actually stall your process of gathering requirements. There could be someone who is not turning up for the meetings. There could be a stakeholder who has been there in the meetings, but towards the end of your analysis actually comes up with some other thought which actually stalls your entire process. So you need to be careful of these risks. Collaboration, you need to maintain a free flow of information. Please promote shared effort to resolve problems. It should not be that someone is dominating the resolution of problems part, and you need to achieve desired results through collaboration. All right, so we have guidelines from BA approach that we documented in earlier steps. We need to have some business objectives so that these stakeholders are sufficiently motivated. We need future state description so that we can have some direction to our discussion. We need to have recommended actions so that we can come up with the most optimal solution while we are discussing the requirements, and we need to have risk analysis in place. All right. So I think this is pretty much what I said. There are certain techniques for managing stakeholder collaboration, right? So what are those techniques? These are collaborative games, lessons learned, risk analysis and management, and stakeholder list map and personas. So collaborative games will actually give you a flavor of teamwork and collaboration. Lessons learned will lead to stakeholder satisfaction or dissatisfaction. Uh, yes, I mean, lessons learned, some stakeholders might be satisfied, and if they are dissatisfied, then using the lessons learned and trying to bring up better ways of doing things or improving the process of working that you currently do may lead to stakeholder satisfaction. So they're just saying, I mean, stakeholders could be satisfied or dissatisfied. So we might use lessons learned in that case. Risk analysis and management, stakeholder participation and engagement risk. Stakeholder participation is required, and they need to be engaged in risk analysis. Stakeholder list, who needs to be involved? So BA must know who need to be called into these meetings, wherein the stakeholders are required. So that's how you manage a stakeholder collaboration. Now, in order to manage stakeholder collaboration, who are important stakeholders? You have domain SMEs, implementation SMEs. So, would you like to share what implementation SMEs mean to you?
I would say probably for me, I would consider those like the IT
Yeah,
support or the technical team that's actually gonna do
yeah, the actual development work.
right.
Yeah, I think you rightly said that. Then we have customer, we have other stakeholders, sponsor, and end user. All stakeholders involved during change.